Warning. This program may contain foul language and awful arithmetic. It should not be viewed by anyone who is triggered by first start 18 saw 90 with the opponent on the finish, or by anyone learning how to mentally calculate 11 plus 8 plus 26. City Elite Darts reminds you to please add and subtract responsibly. All right, as promised, another Week 7 matchup. In fact, not one, but two here this evening. We'll have a little break in between as we get this first one started off here at 6 p.m. Central Time here in the Quarantine Premier League. Before we get that going, let's take a look at our standings. So for reference, we've got a matchup between number 2, Shenandoah Slinger, Kenny Johnson, and number 9, Silver Fox, Seth Wilkerson, to start us off this evening. That will be followed by, let's see, where's Darren? Number 6, the Beard, Darren Ross, going up against number 5. Ooh, little 6-5 match there with the Rattlesnake, Jesse Hopper. But first, let's look at the players here tonight. So big stark difference here. The 4 wins, no losses, and the draw for the Slinger. Meanwhile, just 1 point on the board from 1 draw there for Silver Fox. Big gap in the averages, in the tons, in the high tons, but they share the ton 80s with 0. That could change tonight. Lots of stuff could change tonight. Seth already says he could be playing for the spoiler. I think we all would love to see it. The players have already diddled. If they're ready, shoot them well, guys. Game on.
All the best, Seth. Shoot well.
And they're getting it going here. Slinger taking the bull on a 25 a little bit earlier after a couple of rounds of back and forth.
Uh, 36.
And his 3 loose starts pretty early on. So similarities between these two players. As I said, the ton 80s with 0 and the draws with 1. And that's about it.
78.
Big Man Bearded in the chat already, in early. Ready for the doubleheader tonight, saying, come on, Kenny, as always.
30. Oh, come on. 45.
And I've commented on matches before, I think last night, perhaps with the way that Jay Hoon's darts were going in, how Jay Hoon was throwing darts in at a pretty shallow angle, kind of perpendicular to the board there, which makes it very hard to stack them, at least from the top down. So if you throw a flat dart just above the treble 20, it's very hard to find your way underneath that without getting blocked out, as we saw a number of times last night. Kenny, on the other hand, his darts, as you see, they point up pretty severely. Not like a bad way, just there's a stark kind of angle to them. And that allows him, you know, if he hits his first dart high at the treble 20, the way that angle is sitting up, he has plenty of room. He has like no chance of getting deflected from another treble 20 attempt with that dart. And so a little bit of a difference there we can see with where those darts are pointing. And fantastic darts there from Kenny. Despite having all that room available in that 20 bed, decided to make the switch down to 19s anyway and got paid handsomely for it. Meanwhile, Seth putting in a good effort, getting 80 an interesting way to get himself just in a checkout range. You think that was intentional? Spoiler alert, it was not. Going back up for the double 20s here early.
67.
Oh, 1035 isn't going to go for Slinger, who wanted 25 or the bullseye with his first. Finding the single 2 instead. Yikes.
3,
A
5,
2 and 19 and a treble 1 there for his efforts. Treble 19 for double thereof. Calculating. Oh no. Oh no. What in the world was that? Seth Wilkerson, 95.
25.
Goes 45 to set up the bullseye? Oh boy.
Oh, come
Oh! Oh, he didn't bust it. Kenny had 60 left there.
51, 54, 56.
Hit the treble 1, trying to hit up the single 20. Moved down for the single 17 to try to come around to it. And then I think found the 2. So it's a bullseye here for Seth.
I did that right. 29 and 6 is 35.
Where's my booth cam? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I don't even care if Slinger makes this or not. I can't even do this. I can't do this. I'm out.
So down. Come on.
Okay, I'm sorry. Just gotta get a little emotional. I just get a little emotional here. Oh my gosh. Just what? What the?
Second dart.
What's it all for? What's the point of any of this? Oh, geez. Seth, you're killing me, baby. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to leave it up. I'm just going to leave it up.
41.
I'm starting to design some custom jerseys for some different league concepts. Might have to get one for Seth, especially for him. Just with the big ol' Be Math Aware logo on it.
41.
Come on.
Oh, it's so bad.
Oh my gosh. 65.
95 left goes treble 15. 50 left with a dart in hand, and his opponent on a finish goes tens.
24.
Just lays it up. I don't know what game is being played here. Maybe it's strategic brilliance from the Silver Fox.
38.
Maybe he is just too cunning for all of us. I have a feeling, though, we might be going the other way with the Fox cunningness.
It's up to you. You have to wait
9.
to see if you can get into Ottawa County next year.
Yeah, we'll just.
That's all completely your call.
King Raj, they cannot hear me, asking in the chat. One of the many benefits of the OBS NDI setup is the ability to isolate audio channels.
35.
So they're able to hear me during the warm-up, the pregame stuff, just so they can get the cue for when to be ready to start playing.
96.
But then I mute myself in the Skype call, but because the way the audio is routed, it never gets double piped in through the broadcasting system.
40.
Yeah, Big Man Beard is saying all I'm going to say is wow, and even that might just be saying too much. I don't know. I'm sorry you all had to see this. I am so sorry.
57, 58, 79.
One ten's not going to go here. 90 remaining. Once that treble 18.
Oh God, 40.
What? I don't know about that. I don't know about going 20s on 90 with a dart left.
98.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and flash that for Kenny. It's not as bad as we've seen, but it's bad enough. 20 for double. Oh, 12 for tops then. Thought he was going to go 20 down low. A little bit short. 50 scored. Chance for Seth here from 113.
50 scored.
Oh, 53 remaining here. So 13 for tops here. Doing the old Seth Wilkerson 2-dart split. Getting down to checkout range and just says, I'll use 2 of these. We'll see if Kenny punishes. Double 10. Oof, way high. Much better. Can you knock off of that one? No, he can't. 49. What do you think? Double 17 for 3 for double 6? Oh my god! I can't believe that! So close! Oh no, it's 6 scored, 43 remaining. And then the double 11 to just add icing on the cake. I think it's a 28 score for Seth. Wow, it just gets worse. Double 5 here. Oh no, right, he splits it. He didn't last match. All right, let's move on. 2-0 for the Slinger. Stats. I got them. They're not pretty. How are they that similar? Okay, now I feel like there's a bug in Darts Atlas or something. No way these players are that close. I always remind these players to suppress some chimes, as that stuff was loud. King Raj saying Seth the special one at Wilkerson. The special 1 dart off the board in the 400s.
28 and 7, 35.
Good first start there from Kenny. Good ton there, looks like. Yep. Stacking those darts up and down the middle of that 20 bed, just around that wedge, around that treble wedge. Treble bed, 20 wedge, treble bed. Ugh. This is what happens when you don't grow up with the darts. You just have to learn it in like a span of a couple of years. Just don't get that literacy with it. Don't get that smoothness.
$79.
So the way it's looking so far, Kenny will not be pressured on any of these legs.
70.
But sometimes those can be the hardest to really keep up good scoring on.
62.
Very easy to kind of let yourself relax, get lax with it, lose concentration, let your opponent back in. All of a sudden you find yourself around 30 darts.
60, 114.
Which is exactly what we've seen so far. I mean, for one of the top players in the league, a couple of 29 darters is a not good start.
16.
And we'll see if that tidies up as we get going here. Speaking of 16, double 4.
Come on.
Speaking of double 4, double 4. Well, that's better. That's the sort of marks we expect to see on these dart counts. 21 darter there in leg 3 from the Slinger.
Come on.
So far, no combination finishes and a whole bunch of darts missed at doubles
77.
throughout this match so far. Slinger's checkouts of 20, 10, and 16 there, as we just saw with that 8 outside double 4.
45.
That's definitely a thing in the darts where
60.
players can pull each other up or drag each other down depending on the quality that they're throwing, their own relationship with each other, their pacing in the match.
38.
So here I think we
Come on.
see an example of almost both of them. I feel like to an extent Seth is dragging Kenny down,
39.
while simultaneously Kenny dragging Seth up a little bit. Seth currently throwing about 4.5 over his season average. Meanwhile, Kenny right there, just less than a point below.
Hmm.
Come on.
Oh, no trouble there with that third dart from Kenny. Pointing down. The barrel was even with that treble 19 area. The point, however, just below it
24.
in that single.
Come on. 60.
Raj just saying these guys got to get those averages up 20 points. Or I wonder if he means just Slinger if he wants to be competitive in the A division of the FO Dart League next year.
7.
That's right, the photo, which I've spoken about much before, which I don't think I've given congratulations yet to King Raj on the stream for taking down his first photo championship, joining great companies such as myself, Lasercat, with the 1 star, the Lone Star Club. You and me, buddy, forever.
20.
Now you'll probably win it again this year, but we'll see. Will Tuttle joining us in the chat. Afternoon, Will.
Oh,
Good to see you.
43.
Just as these players are starting to turn it around a little bit from a slightly slower start. I feel like I missed a bad BMath aware alert there on Seth's side.
40.
At this point, they all just sort of blur, where they kind of just blur into this fogginess. Double 18 here for Slinger. We saw Seth do it last season in the opening match of the Premier League.
78, 57. 75.
Might have been the very first leg of the very first match. I'm whistling Dixie about some technology streaming problems or something. He goes treble 19. I look up, and before I'm even able to make the call, he hits the double 18 with his second dart. Robert T joining us as well, saying Tuttle in the house. King Raj, Tuttle in the huddle, and then seeing himself out.
Oh, little too much.
Oh, wow. Slinger finding himself up in that double 12. 90 here for Seth. Still wants that treble 18. So he'll probably go treble 10. Yeah, he's saying something to me about some dart for me. I think he thought that
12.
there's some play for 20s on 90 with 2 darts left. It's just, I can't. Just going to leave it up. Just going to leave it up.
9, 10, 11, 12.
Oh, the math. It's just been awful. 82. I have no idea. All I can say is probably not going to be 14s or the bullseye here. At this point, I'm just kind of anti-claiming. Well, it's definitely not going to be 18 to set up the bullseye here because, Seth does not need to give himself any chances at doubles here. Why? I have no idea. Well, I was right. Pay me. Pay me. I've never been more motivated than I am right now to hand off City League broadcasting to a bunch of high schoolers or college students, which is happening soon if you've been following me on social media. Wow. Clinical 6, and again, another leg. Pushing 30 darts there. A 33. Something, not good, Bob. Will saying to crack another beer. That's going to happen soon.
Oh, God. 32.
Kenny slipping back down. We saw him at about 57 a leg and a half ago. No longer. Both players with 3 low tons here. So Seth doing well to find 3 of those through just 4 legs.
60.
Unfortunately not able to convert it into many checkout opportunities.
60.
Robert saying, the pain that I suffer with the math alone is worth it to watch these matches. That's what I'm here for.
31.
Great visit there from the Slinger.
$85.
Oh, wow.
Well, I just got a text from a good friend of ours
Great baller.
who's put together some house options in our neighborhood. My wife's getting antsy about wanting some outdoor living space somewhere, but we just really don't feel like we can afford anything in the neighborhood anymore. But our friend, who happens to be a realtor, happens to be the realtor who
Come on.
helped us buy this house. Yeah, compiled a little list of stuff that she's been looking at, I guess, in the neighborhood. She lives pretty close to us and is very familiar with it, so eager to check that out later.
62.
All right, good leave on the 144 there. I definitely don't mind the switch down to the 17s there from 161. Oh, almost snuck in at checkout range there. A 26 would have done it, would have set up the 167. 9, though, 9, and it's off for Kenny. Wants treble 17 to try to set up double 16 for his return visit. Does it? Wow.
112.
Hey, Kenny, how you doing? You don't get the 144, but you set up the 32. That will play. That will play nicely. 3 straight darts there from Seth. I won't say it applies pressure, but it does well for his average. Ooh, Slinger not going in the right direction. Just shaving all 3 of those right on the wire. You could barely slip a piece of paper in there, I bet, between those points and the wire. The gap exists nonetheless. So I do believe that Seth correctly targeted that triple 18 on that second dart from 104.
37.
Again, you got to wonder if he hits it and has 50 left, is he going 18s or 10s? Because he's not going bullseye.
Third dart.
Wow. All right. Tidying it up a little bit there. Getting back into what his form should look more like, but still, 27 darter, not that great. I mean, kind of 24 is generally around the top of Slinger's range. And you usually get at least 1, if not 2, sub-20s in a match. At least 7 visit turns, right? So we do have the 21 darter there. But still, not quite the darts that he's been putting in for most of the season.
43.
Yeah, Will's suggesting I get one of those houses with a 6-car garage and turn it into a dart compound.
26.
I don't think you could fit a 6-car garage on most of the lots that we're looking at, honestly.
59.
And I don't mean like in addition. I mean like I don't think 6 cars could fit on the lot. Well, Seth's straightening these darts out a little bit more here in these late stages. Might be too little too late, however. And he's putting in good scores. Like, he's putting in a bunch of visits of 60s, 80s, ton somethings. Unfortunately, they are just getting interrupted by these single-digit visits almost every leg.
100.
And then when the time comes for the checkdowns and the setups, he's just all over the place with it, kind of taking chances away from himself to put legs on the board.
60.
$41.
Well, is this going to be the leg where Seth can get something on here?
100.
Last night suffering a 7-1. Yeah, came with a super late, I think, 7th leg win. Took the 7th leg last night against Jae-Hoon Lim, old boy, out of Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Well, that's interesting. 38 and 20, 58 and 16.
58 and 16. No one can ever know how to calculate it. Literally, I need to do a tutorial.
74.
Could not be easier to run that on Darts Atlas. But that's okay. We're going to move on.
Oh, come on. 42.
Well, no bogey, but dang, he was trying there, Kenny. So I do like the first start at the 19s there from Seth. Good on him.
47.
Good strategy, poor execution. As they say, execution eats strategy for breakfast.
My God. 58. Jesus.
Robert in the chat saying if he was throwing, I'd have that math sign up so much you wouldn't even see the darts. That's what I'm close to putting up on the right side of the screen here.
Oh, right there. 52.
A little bit low, but gave himself a chance. And, well, I don't know if, I mean, I see the pros go 20s on 72 with 3 darts in hand every now and then, so I guess I'll forgive him for it.
Third dart.
Wow, 20 tops for the Slinger.
Thank you, sir.
Now, what the hell that first start was doing all the way up there, I have no idea. But wow. Holy moly, love it. The Steve Brown route, the Bomber Steve Brown, the JDC trademarked classic, 20 tops. And I think they do it even with their opponent not on a finish. I believe I've seen Steve Brown do that on a floor event with his opponent in like the 200s. Go 20 tops. Beautiful. Don't you love it when a plan comes together? Congra on the chat saying, hey, City Lead Darts. Hey, Congra. Joining just in time for that nice ton out, he says. Absolutely. Ooh, Will saying he tried that in his match yesterday and wired the third just low.
45.
Man, there is like I might rather. No, I mean
Come on. 58.
it's like I wouldn't, but it's this close where I'm debating it. Like, would I rather a ton 70 or a ton on single tops? That's how much admiration I have for that manner of ton.
$36.
Well, maybe that beer refill will not happen after all. back to 20s now to leave the 164.
56.
Or he just wanted the 72 to leave the 170 there. Either way, good thinking there from Slinger. Moving over to 18s after that first start found the single. Otherwise, he was welcome to stay there for the second dart. Raj saying, how about a 96? Same theory, 20 tops D18. I actually go the sort of opposite way. If my first start is low, I'll go 18s first and then move back over to 20s. But yeah, also love that. And usually I'll kind of have that in my mind before I'm even up at the Aki. I kind of have a sense of how I'm going to want to bring that one down. And I know that if that first start goes low, then yep, I've already decided if I'm staying on it or moving up and to the right. We'll say an 8 left with 2 in hand. It's the go-to route. Yeah, I totally agree. Especially if it's like a do or die. Unless your like first start is just like lying perfectly, begging to be like thrown at to knock it into the treble bed there to set up double 20 or double 10.
Oh, Lord. 20 scored.
Wow, Kenny missing the big number there.
Take it away.
Didn't want double 20 on that third dart, just wanted the single and was unable to come up with it.
121.
Now will he bust it here on the first and kind of overcompensate? No, 19 for tops here. Now we're there. Took him long enough to get that 20. 3 darts to go from 60 to 40. Treble 18 here for double 16 is what the normal route should be. All bets are off. Double 13. Oh, and he doesn't even know what the leave is. It's double 13 for those of you at home.
All right. You got one shot. Oh, he blows it. 60 scored. Oh, I fucked that all up. 80 scored.
20 for the match. And the clean sheet. Double 5. Or not 2. Double 4.
Oh, come on. 12
Double 13 now. Maybe he's dialed in from that first attempt. Ooh, not a bad first effort. Terrible second effort. Double 4 for the match. And a 7-0 sweep. And a reclaiming of the top spot here in the season table in the Quarantine Premier League.
Nice score.
And Seth, another opportunity here to put one on the board. Double 11 this time. Hey ho. Can he work it in? That's within range. 3 to set up double 4, or it's just going to be a bust. Or a 1 to set up double 5. Who knows? Congress saying finish line-itis. It's running rampant. The cases are growing here in Texas.
Come on. Really? 4?
Maybe even has a touch of the osis. Might gander. Yikes. Better.
Oh, 11 scored.
For the most anticlimactic finish ever, double 1.
Third.
All right. Well, there was a bit of the itis,
Had my chance.
but the players were able to solve it with the double 1 inoculant. So there we have it. The Slinger definitely playing down below his season average here. Seth up a little bit. So I think that kind of played out. Shenandoah playing a little bit down to the Silver Fox, who was also playing up a little bit to the Slinger. And man, that's where we're left with it. Not much else to say from that match. I mean, decent enough power scoring there from Seth. It was just the doubles and perhaps even more so the check downs that just got the better of him here this evening. So stay tuned. That was a quick one. So instead of the hour that I quoted originally, it's going to be closer to like an hour and a half before we get this second match going on, which will be promptly at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. And again, that will be between the Beard, Darren Ross, and Rattlesnake, Jesse Hopper. Forgot again for a second who that was going to be. Updated standings here. So as I said, Slinger back in that number 1 spot. Seth still in that basement spot, tied on points with DJ Mike Hughes, but Hughes with the benefit there in the leg differential, as we see quite a difference there. So that will be it. As I quit out Skype here, that will be it for us for this match. But again, we'll be back live on another stream here on the City League YouTube channel in just under an hour and a half. So thank you all for tuning in, and catch you all next time.